Mr. Meyer's signature, Mr. Ackerman's, and your signature. Is that correct, ma'am? And so you agree that this can be read to the jury with no additional proof? Okay. And I also have a stipulation indicating that you and the state agree that the phone number of 251-225-0872 belonged to yourself in August of 2023. Also appears to have your signature, Mr. Myers, and your attorney, Mr. Ackerman. Is that correct? And you agree that that can be submitted as evidence with no additional proof? Okay. Mr. Myers, do you have a particular time you want me to read those?
Yes, ma'am. The identity of the deceased, I would ask that the court read it after opening statement. I will try to remind the court. And then I have a evidence and witness sheet I will give the court, which states where the number should be read. I do have also, I printed it, the court may have it as well. It's 2.3 is the jury instruction on stipulations.
I should have it here. Let me see. I do. Same one that was from 2013?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I also printed off, I'm sure the court has it as well then, 2.2 instruction on edited recording. There's some surveillance video in the case that we would ask that be read at that time.
Yes, I have a copy of that instruction.
And I also have a copy of a preliminary verdict form and jury instructions. I've given the defense counsel already and the courts.
Thank you.
And lastly, the victim or the witness evidence list. I'm sorry, the witness. Oh.
All right, thank you, Mr. Myers. Any other preliminary matters we need to address?
Not from the state, no.
Your Honor, statement, I thought there were several motions that were filed in the first case that the judge determined in. We'd like to renew those motions and have them adopted by the court's rulings.
You're going to have to be more specific. I was not the presiding judge at the first trial, so I'm not sure what specifically you're talking about.
There was some pretrial motions filed regarding a video that was taken and testimony taken regarding the defendant's presence at a balloon service for the deceased.
Do you know the date the motion was filed?
I'm sorry?
Do you know the date the motion was filed?
We heard it, I believe, the morning of the last trial, which would have been
It's like,
November 19th, 2024.
okay, the only note on the court worksheet indicates there was defense's third motion in limine, and it was taken under advisement, and the stipulation was filed.
There was a first motion and a second motion.
Okay, they're not referenced on the court worksheets that I, let me look at the jury selection worksheet.
Your Honor, I don't believe the state has any objection to them.
Well, we need to identify them for the record, Mr. Ackerman.
I don't really
Thank
know the number of the motion, but I believe what he's speaking of is Ms. Agee went to a celebration of life for Brooklyn Sims the day that she was actually arrested in Alabama. We agreed not to play that in our case in chief. Now, if something that the defense does makes it relevant to our case, then we will want to. And that was our understanding with Ratty, with Mr. Ratty when he was the previous counsel for Ms. Agee.
My understanding is, Judge, that Judge Robinson had ruled that it was inadmissible, period. So,
Well, if you can find me an order in the court file that reflects that, I'll certainly review it, but you got to be more specific on if you're wanting a ruling when you can't even tell me the date the motion was filed.
I have it. I just didn't bring it with me this morning. I thought it was a given, so I can furnish the court. I can furnish you his ruling. It's written in the clerk's paperwork.
Okay, I don't see it reflected on the dates that you referenced previously, but if you can provide that to me. But it sounds like the state's agreeing that they're not going to play that video in their case in chief. And again, if the defense puts on a case and it becomes relevant, then we can readdress it if the state wishes to introduce it.
I
at that
understand.
time, but I'm not making a ruling at this point that it is absolutely not going to be admissible because it may, depending on how the evidence
Thank you.
is presented.
Okay.
Anything else from the defense? Mr. Ackerman, anything else?
Sorry, no.
Okay, in the preliminary instructions, do you request the reading of the right to remain silent portion?
Yes.
Okay. And as far as instructions, do both state and defense prefer to have the instructions read after closing arguments versus before?
After, Your Honor.
Okay. And note taking by jurors, any objection to the jurors taking notes?
No objection to notes. We would oppose questions like this.
Is defense requesting jurors be permitted?
I have
ask
no objection
questions.
to taking notes, and I have no objection to them submitting questions.
Okay. In consideration of that, I'm not going to allow juror questions in this matter. Do you all have any additional questions for the court?
Judge, I just informed that motion hearing you were talking about earlier was October 30th.
I'm looking at the court worksheet from October 30th, and there's nothing notated. When we have a break, I can go back and review the,
Judge, I'm looking at it on this laptop.
what's the docket entry number?
I touched the wrong thing.
So on the far left, there'll be a number, probably somewhere in the 70s, that will tell me which docket entry it is.
Uh, 73.
Okay, it looks like he granted it just for the state's case in chief. He didn't completely prohibit it from being entered. I think in the last trial, the defense didn't put on a case, so it didn't become an issue. So I think the state's stipulated to that they're not intending to play it in their case in chief, but if they believe it becomes relevant, then we'll address it at that time. Mr. Ackerman, are you asking for the rule to be invoked?
Yes.
Okay, do we have any witnesses that are present in the courtroom?
No, Your Honor. I've got a few outside.
Okay, if we could bring them in, and I'll just give them that instruction. Deputy Williams, is the jury in the, okay. Yes, sir. Right up. Good morning. Yes, sir. Following the opening statements, Thank you. Good morning. Go ahead and have a seat. Welcome back. Is everyone feeling okay today and able to sit for the case today? Appreciate y'all being on time. We were working on a few preliminary matters to hopefully help things go more efficiently today. Have any of you discussed the case or otherwise done any research on the case since we were together yesterday? Anyone see anything in the news, TV, newspaper, online, anything since we were together yesterday afternoon? Okay, sir, and what is your name again? Okay. So you just saw it like it was on in your home?
It was just a little clip on the news and it was proceedings.
Didn't say anything about the facts of the case, just that the trial was going to be conducted today. Okay. Any concern from state or defense? Any concern?
No.
Okay. Anybody else have anything similar? Okay. Has anything happened since jury selection yesterday that would affect your ability to give your full attention to the trial today and tomorrow? Okay. I'm going to now ask that Madam Clerk swear our jury. If you'll please stand and raise your right hand to be sworn as the jury to try this case.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will well and truly try the issues between the state of Florida and the defendant and render a true verdict according to the law and evidence, so help you God? Yes. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead and have a seat. So there's not any empty seats in that jury box, but there's no assigned seats, so feel free to sit wherever you would like throughout the trial. I'm going to get started with our preliminary instructions. Members of the jury, you have been selected and sworn as the jury to try the case of the state of Florida versus Sheila Agee. This is a criminal case. Sheila Agee is charged with principal to first degree premeditated murder. The definition of this crime will be explained to you later. You must decide this case based on the evidence presented and the law that I give you. Evidence consists of the sworn testimony of the witnesses, exhibits admitted into evidence, and anything else that I tell you to consider as evidence. The state's charging document, which is called an information or indictment, is not evidence and is not to be considered by you as any proof of guilt. It is my responsibility to explain the law to you. It is your solemn responsibility to determine if the state proved its accusation beyond a reasonable doubt against Sheila Agee in accordance with the law that I provide to you. Thus, the province of the jury and the province of the court are well defined, and they do not overlap. This is one of the fundamental principles of our system of justice. Before proceeding further, it will be helpful if you understand how a trial is conducted. At the beginning of the trial, the attorneys will have an opportunity, if they wish, to make an opening statement. The opening statement gives the attorneys a chance to tell you what evidence they believe will be presented during the trial. What the lawyers say is not evidence, and you are not to consider it as such. Following the opening statements, witnesses will be called to testify under oath. They will be examined and cross-examined by the attorneys. Documents and other exhibits may be introduced as evidence. After the evidence has been presented, the attorneys will have the opportunity to make their closing arguments. Following the closing arguments by the attorneys, the court will instruct you on the law applicable to the case. After the final instructions are given, you will be released to retire and consider your verdict. You will not form any definite or fixed opinions on the merits of the case until you have heard all the evidence, the argument of the lawyers, and the instructions on the law that I give you. Until that time, you should not discuss the case among yourselves. Your verdict must be based solely on the evidence or lack of evidence and the law. Jurors must decide the case without distraction and only on the evidence presented in the courtroom. Jurors must not conduct any investigation on their own. This includes reading newspapers, watching television, or using a computer, cell phone, the internet, any electronic device, or any other means at all to get information related to this case or the people and places involved in this case. You may not visit places mentioned in the trial or use the internet to look at maps or pictures to see any place discussed during the trial. If you investigate, research, or make inquiries on your own, I have no way to make sure that the information you obtain is proper for the case. The parties likewise have no opportunity to dispute or challenge the accuracy of what you find. This is contrary to our judicial system, which assures every party the right to ask questions about and challenge the evidence being considered against it and to present argument with respect to that evidence. Any independent investigation by a juror unfairly and improperly prevents the parties from having that opportunity our judicial system promises. You are also not permitted to communicate about this case with anyone, including your spouse, family members, friends, neighbors, and even your fellow jurors. No communication includes no in-person, telephonic, or electronic communication, such as emailing, text messaging, posting information on social media or a website, or any other form of communication. During the trial, the court may take recesses and you will be permitted to separate and go about your personal affairs. It is important to remember that the prohibition on communicating about this case applies during these recesses, whether you are in the courthouse or elsewhere. If at any time you find yourself in a situation where others are discussing the case in your presence, leave that situation at once and immediately report the matter to the court deputy, who will advise me. You cannot have any cell phones, tablets, laptops, or other electronic devices in the courtroom. You may use these devices during recesses, but even then, you may not use your cell phone or electronic device to find out any information about the case or communicate with anyone about the case or the people involved in the case. Do not take photographs, video recordings, or audio recordings of the proceedings or your fellow jurors. At the end of the case, while you are deliberating, you must not communicate with anyone outside the jury room. If someone needs to contact you in an emergency, the court can receive messages and deliver them to you without delay. A contact phone number will be provided to you. Any juror who violates these restrictions jeopardizes the fairness of these proceedings, and a mistrial could result that would require the entire trial process to start over. A mistrial is a tremendous expense and inconvenience to the parties, the court, and the taxpayers. If you violate these rules, you may be held in contempt of court and face sanctions such as serving time in jail, paying a fine, or both. In every criminal proceeding, a defendant has the absolute right to remain silent. At no time is it the duty of a defendant to prove her innocence. From the exercise of a defendant's right to remain silent, a jury is not permitted to draw any inference of guilt, and the fact that a defendant did not take the witness stand must not influence your verdict in any manner whatsoever. The attorneys are trained in the rules of evidence and trial procedure, and it is their duty to make all objections they feel are proper. When an objection is made, you should not speculate on the reason why it is made. Likewise, when an objection is sustained or upheld by me, you must not speculate on what might have occurred had the objection not been sustained, nor what a witness might have said had the witness been permitted to answer. During the trial, it may be necessary to confer with the attorneys out of your hearing to discuss matters that require consideration by me alone. It is impossible to predict when such a conference may be required or how long it will last. When such conferences occur, they will be conducted to consume as little of your time as is necessary for a fair and orderly trial of the case. So approximately mid-morning, we'll take a comfort break so you can use the restroom and get a drink or a snack if you'd like to in the jury room, or if you want to step outside and get some fresh air. I know it was raining this morning when I came in, so but in any event, if you want to go outside, you'll have that opportunity. But if you need a break before we take that mid-morning break, please alert me or the court deputy, Deputy Barrett, next to you so you're not uncomfortable, okay? We will also have a lunch break around noon. Have you already made your selections for lunch? Okay. And again, to remind you, during these recesses, lunch breaks, you're not to discuss the merits of the case among yourselves or with anyone else, including the court security deputy who will be with you. And as I mentioned yesterday, if you see the attorneys during the breaks around the courthouse, they will not speak to you and they're not being rude. It's because they're following the court's instruction. All right. One last instruction for you. If you'd like to take notes during the trial, you may do so. On the other hand, of course, you're not required to take notes if you do not want to. That will be left up to you individually. You will be provided with a notepad and a pen for your use if you wish to take notes. Any notes that you take will be for your personal use. However, you should not take them with you from the courtroom. During recesses, the court deputy will take possession of your notes and will return them to you when we reconvene. After you have completed your deliberations, the court deputy will deliver your notes to me. They will be destroyed. No one will ever read your notes. If you do take notes, do not get so involved in note taking that you become distracted from the proceedings. Your notes should be used only as aids to your memory. Whether or not you take notes, you should rely on your memory of the evidence, and you should not be unduly influenced by the notes of other jurors. Notes are not entitled to any greater weight than any juror's memory of the evidence. So we have some notepads and pencils. So if you want to take notes, this is what I ask that you do. On the very front page of the notepad, write your name, and then flip over to the second page to begin taking your notes. And then when we do take recesses, you can flip it back over so just your name is on top, and set it either on the bar right where you're sitting or on your chair. And then the courtroom will be secured during the recess, and then you can grab your notepad when we come back. So looks like everybody's getting a notepad. Looks like everybody has one. Okay. Mr. Meyer, state may proceed with opening statement.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury. If you don't come kill her, you a MF bitch. These are her words to her son, Keith Agee. And that's exactly what he did. It all started August the 11th in the morning, 2023. Keith Agee, her son, received a phone call from a health clinic. That health clinic told him he had tested positive for an STD. He begins texting his mother, who's at work in Pensacola at the Home Depot. He's blaming the mother of his child, Brooklyn Sims. Brooklyn and Sheila Agee work together. They work for an inventory company. They're based out of Alabama. They were here in Pensacola on that Friday to do inventory at the Home Depot on Davis Highway. Keith Agee gets himself worked up and gets mad about getting an STD. He decides he's going to kill her, kill Brooklyn. Originally, he was going to wait until they got home from Pensacola back to Alabama that night. She texts him. She says, "Don't shoot at my MF car. I don't want to die. Wait till I put her out." She then suggests, "If you're off work, why don't you come over here? You can do it here where you're not in front of your child." She sends him the address to the Davis Highway Home Depot, and he is on his way. He has his pistol already, drives to Pensacola from Alabama. Just after 1 p.m., he arrives at the Home Depot. He parks next to his mother's car, walks into the Home Depot through the main door, the main entrance, walks straight to aisle 52. It's in the lighting section. This is where Brooklyn was working at the moment, doing the inventory. Walks up to her, shoots her multiple times, kills her right there, aisle 52, just like he said he would. He runs out of the store, gets back in his car, leaves the Home Depot, gets on Davis Highway, throws his pistol out of the window, calls 911, parks his car, and he's taken into custody at the movie theater on Bayou Boulevard. Now, when Keith Agee was arrested, he had his cell phone. Law enforcement did what is known as a forensic download, where they plug it in and they take all the information on the phone off of it. In it, they find the text between himself and his mother. The police get her phone when they go to arrest her for being a principal to murder. They do the same forensic download on her phone. They find the text messages, but on her phone, she had deleted them. Now, you're going to get to see all the text and hear all the communications between the two. There's much more. You're also going to get to see the surveillance from the Home Depot. Now, the surveillance video doesn't have a camera shooting down aisle 52. But from the surveillance video, you will see Sheila Agee prior to the shooting and what she's doing. You will see her son come through that main entrance. You will see him running out after. You're also going to hear from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. You're going to hear from their firearms examiner. And he will testify, or she will testify, that all 7 shell casings found on aisle 52 that day matched that pistol found on Davis Highway. You're also going to hear her son's DNA, Keith, was on that pistol. Now, this trial should move relatively quickly. I anticipate you're going to hear from just under 20 witnesses. A lot of the evidence you're going to hear is regarding Keith Agee. And that's because we have to prove first that Keith Agee committed first-degree premeditated murder. The evidence will show that Keith Agee committed first-degree premeditated murder of Brooklyn Sims. He was the trigger man. Sheila Agee is charged with being a principal to first-degree premeditated murder. We talked about it yesterday, if you remember, principles. And the judge is going to instruct you on this. If the defendant helped another person commit a crime, then the defendant is a principal and must be treated as if she had done all the things the other person did if the state proves beyond a reasonable doubt 2 things. 1, the defendant intended the crime to occur, and 2, the defendant did some act or said some word which was intended to and did incite, cause, encourage, assist, or advise the other to commit the crime. Let me repeat that. Incite, cause, encourage, or assist the other person to commit the crime. To be a principal, the defendant does not even have to be there when the crime is committed. The evidence will show that Sheila Agee knew and intended for Brooklyn Sims to be killed. And through her actions and through her texts, she did incite, cause, encourage, assist, or advise Keith Agee to commit first-degree murder. Therefore, under Florida law, Ms. Agee is guilty of being a principal to first-degree premeditated murder. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Myers.
Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury. We're not going to argue the case here now. This is our chance to give you.
Mr. Ackerman, you're going to need to speak up.
Can you hear me? Okay. I was told in advance that I have a tendency to not make myself heard. So please, if I do that, just raise your hand if you can't hear me. Okay, this is our chance to give you our statement, our belief of what the evidence is going to show here today. You've heard from the state. It sounds, wow. The case, will save that for the end of the case. But what the evidence is going to show is on August 11th of 2023, a heinous, horrible act was committed by Keith Agee, an 18-year-old, full of himself, egotistical, bombastic, and I could go on and on, individual.
Sustained.
The evidence is going to show that nobody on this side, whether it be the defendant, her mother, her son, other son, Jack, had any concept that Keith was capable of doing this. Keith, you'll hear the testimony, was a braggart and no, braggart is the wrong word, just full of blustering. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill her. I'm going to break their windows out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, to the point where it was almost, and no one took him seriously. This was him. This was Keith. That's going to be made very clear through the evidence. Now, state starts by saying that this case began on August 11th. Actually, the evidence is going to show that this case began several years before that, and maybe August the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, okay? There'll be texts that you will get, the state will introduce from August 11th, or just that day, the whole day, the numerous texts from that one day. Sheila's at work. She manages about 20 people. She's busy back and forth doing these things. And at the same time, her son is texting her about the gonorrhea. Okay. Now, the evidence is going to show, first of all, this begins with a relationship between two teenagers that goes back several years before that. They meet, they like each other, they have sex, they have a baby, they're living together, they're on together, off together. Keith complains about her constantly. You'll see that in the text and you'll see that in the evidence. She's this, she's that. You'll hear him say, Mom, you take her side all the time. I wish I were her. The evidence will show that Sheila, defendant, Keith's mother, tries all the time when he does this to assuage him, to calm him down. Son, stop it. You're being this, you're being that. You'll hear from the tapes, and I'm going to quote you a couple of them in a second. So there's more than one quote here, to say the least. There's many, many, many texts. And when you listen to those texts, you will see the evolution of this circumstance, how a mother and a son communicate, and how she's been trying forever to calm him down, keep him from doing things that hurt others and hurt himself. Now, this teenage relationship evolves to the point where they have the child. Keith's happy as heck. I'm a father, this, that, and the other. Then he's not happy. Then it's this, then it's that. They move in together, they move out together. The baby comes, they're together. It reaches a point where he's thrilled that the baby's here, but then he's not happy because maybe it's not mine. You'll hear evidence, Mom assures him, it's not, it's yours. Stop it. He goes months without seeing the baby or the mother, from what I think the evidence is going to show. We know he goes months without communicating with his mother because his mother's upset with his attitude and everything else. Tests come back. It is his son. He's back again. He's gone again. He's back again. He's gone again. Complaining, this, that, and the other, calling her names, telling Mom what a difficult time. Mom, will you interfere? She's not talking to me. Will you call her for me? Will you do this for me? You'll hear texts where, Mom, will you apologize to her for me? I'm outgrowing all this anger. I'm getting better. I'm good. You have to take all of it. Well, the evidence will show all that. Okay. August 11th, the day that the Mom, she gave me gonorrhea. That's the day we're going to focus on for a great deal of time. But before August 11th, there's text back and forth. Mom, I think she's given me a disease. This, that, and the other. I'm going to get tested. Text back from Mom. Get tested, son. Stop it. Oh, how could you do this to me? You know, you're nice to effing people and then they screw you, you know, all that silliness. You'll hear that. Mom has to deal with that. Son, calm down. You'll see it, the texts. It appears that the tests come back that Brooklyn had a vaginal infection, a UTI. Oh, we're all happy. Everybody's happy. Apologize to her mom, this, that, and the other. I'm bigger than this. I'll get over it. Without going into all the detail, the evidence is going to show that that was the last word mom had, and it was August the 8th. So mom goes about her business. Son's going about his business. Mom's intervened. You see, to the extent that she tried to help them get together. Stop texting me about this. You're the parents. You're the ones with the responsibility. Stop acting like children. Stop this, stop that. You're going to hear this. It'll be in the evidence. So August 11th comes along, and it starts up again. Mom's working, trying to manage 20 people. They take the inventory. You heard that from the state. And the texts start coming. Oh, boy. When are you getting home? Well, we're finishing up here. Well, let me know when you get home, because I'm going to see her. Okay. Well, yeah, and he goes on in the text, and I can't stand this. I can't believe it. And so I'm going to, when you get home, boy, I'm going to say, Mom, trying to assuage him. This is the blowhard. Tells him, son, stop, you know. Anyway, you'll hear it all. And that's the most important thing in this opening, is to say to you, please pay very, very close attention to the wording in the text, to the nuances, because you'll hear, son, you know, you're gonna kill, what are you gonna do, kill her up there? Say something about, well, then just don't do that. Do it down here. Son, wake up. You'll see this in the text. Conversations go back and forth. And it's very important then you listen closely, slowly to what these texts say. Oh yeah, don't tell your nanny, because you know, she'll just try and talk you out of it. Again, you'll notice from the evidence, from the testimony, you have to make the decision. What does mom mean with this? At the same time, all of this is back and forth. You better erase your tape, you know, because I don't want to be a part of this stupid conversation. Getting him, anyway, no argument at this point. You just think about what you hear. Let me, state gave you one quote. The evidence is going to include okay, that's fine. This is Sheila texting him. One of the many that you'll be hearing. Okay, that's fine. You the one have to leave your baby and go to prison and have her hate you. You ain't hurting Brooklyn. She'll be dead. No problems for her. The only person you hurting is you and Casey. She'll be lost, her mama and daddy, and you won't even get to touch your daughter again. But I swear to God, I don't care. I ain't going to jail. And again, you'll hear this evidence, and then you'll hear more. Yes, you'll hear text. Yeah, well, when we get there, this is before she says, come do it here. Yeah, when you know, make sure I don't get shot, pull her out, you'll hear it back and forth. You know, you don't want to shoot me. What does she say? That's up to you to decide. And don't act like you love Casey. And by the way, Brooklyn is the daughter. Casey is the grandchild. And let me stop right here in my opening. I didn't finish, actually, articulating the teenagers, they meet each other, they have the baby, he's on and off. While all this is going on, and you'll hear this through the tapes, Mama, you take her side. I wish I were her. I wish I could switch with her. You're always taking, no matter what I do, she can't do wrong. And you'll hear from the testimony and the evidence. This is her first grandchild. You'll hear that in the evidence. You'll hear that she and Brooklyn, over the course of these months, have evolved to a mother-daughter type relationship. You'll hear from the evidence that Sheila encouraged her and put her through high school, helped her through high school. You'll hear from the evidence that she helped support her. You'll hear from the evidence that when she had a job at McDonald's, Sheila was the one that would pick her up, bring her to work, and pick her up from home. This is all, you'll see an evolving relationship between the mother and the mother of her grandchild. You'll hear from the testimony, she gave her money. She gave her family money. She encouraged her. They became very close. You'll hear from the evidence that there was a jealousy on his part. Sheila, like I said, you don't give an F about the baby. I'm getting you the address when I get back. And I'm showing nobody nothing except you got mental issues. Because you're willing to give up your life and your baby daughter's life and hurt your family over a bitch. But don't worry, I'll make sure she know. Brooklyn gave you something that you had to get a shot for, but that you didn't love her enough to give an F about what happened to her. Talking about the baby, Casey. That she wasn't enough for you. Maybe she should have meant more to you, that her mama and daddy would still be here. She wasn't important enough, and you just had to prove a point. I promise you, I'll remind her of that the rest of her life. Which she'll probably end up committing suicide, and she'll be with you all anyway. And give me 10 minutes, and I'll give you the address. You ain't close yet. Sheila, I can't wait to get back to that store to give you the address, because you're going to have to shoot me today. But just know I'll be the first MF you see. Sheila, but I hope you ain't stupid enough to think you ain't going to jail, because that's definitely where you're going. Probably best because something wrong with you. You don't need to be around Kaya. That's his sister, her daughter, or Casey. You're going to hear from the evidence. I've just got a few more. That, again, the evidence will show she's not trying to talk him out of killing Brooklyn. She's just trying to calm him down, because the evidence will show she doesn't believe any of this anyway. The evidence will show he's just that way. He blusters, he threatens everybody and everything. But the evidence will show that he doesn't follow through. When he blusters, it's blustering. That's all this is. The evidence will show she never thought he was even on the way. The evidence will show that she called her mother, Nana, Thelma, who raised basically him, and says, your little boy is threatening to kill Brooklyn. They have a conversation, and you'll hear the testimony that neither one of them believed that it's just Keith. It's just Keith. He won't do that. He ain't even on the way, says Nanny. He just came home and had his lunch. He always does it, same routine. He left. He's at work. He works at the steel mill, not far at all. Couple of miles, couple of minutes away. Okay. Sheila goes back to work. She's working. There's more texts. He's not coming. Anyway, back to just the evidence that you'll see. This goes on for a period of 2 hours, starts about 11:30 and ends about 1:15, and then at 1:41 the horrible event occurs. You will see videos of Sheila at work, back and forth. You'll see particularly important video of the time frame that Sheila believed that he would, if he was coming, that he would have gotten there. She goes to the front, paces back and forth for better than a half an hour, either side of when he should get there. He doesn't come. You'll see photographs and you'll be able to make your own determination from them. Finally, you'll see the evidence that she's convinced now he's not coming. Okay, boy. Because if he came, it was going to be confronting her. Because you'll see from the text how she had it evolved to being her. Okay, I can go back to work. And then the horrific gunshots and the turmoil and the horrific results. When you've heard all the evidence here, when you've watched all the videos, the evidence will show that there was no intent whatsoever. There was no plan. There was a young man who, as the state said, built himself up, worked himself up, that self-fulfilling prophecy, that me generation that can work themselves up and commit such a heinous act over such a ridiculous, petty thing. You'll see that it was so silly that it had already been discussed. And what I didn't cover in the evidence, I'll cover very briefly before I sit down, is this was August the 11th. August the 8th, she and Keith go through conversations where I'm upset, this, that, and the other. I've never had something like this before. Well, wait until the tests come in, so before you do anything. And then the tests come back from her that it was a vaginal infection. And he's relieved, apologize, Mom, and, I'm sorry, I see how important it is for me to behave because my relationship with Casey, the baby. And so you're going to have to make a determination from all of this. What was the intent of Sheila in this? For sure that when you hear all of that evidence, be very clear to you. Very, very clear to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ackerman. Mr. Myers, I'm going to go ahead and read the stipulation instruction. When lawyers or parties agree that certain facts are true, that is called a stipulation of fact. You must accept stipulated facts as having been proven. However, the significance of these facts, as with all facts, is for you to decide. In this case, the stipulated fact that you must accept as true is the state and the defendant, Sheila Agee, stipulate and agree that the following facts are true and admissible at trial without the need of any further proof. The identity of the individual found shot and killed inside the Home Depot located at 5309 North Davis Highway in Escambia County, Florida, on August 11th, 2023, and was examined by Dr. Deanna Oleski on August 14th, 2023, was Brooklyn Sims, the same individual who is named in count 1 of the indictment. That's dated August 4th, 2025, signed by State Defense and the defendant.
State calls Matt Pike.
You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
You'll have a seat for me. Make sure you pull yourself up to the microphone and state your full name and spell your last name for the court reporter.
Matthew Pike, P-I-K-E,
Mr. Pike, where are you employed?
Escambia County Sheriff's Office,
What do you do for them?
Communications Manager and Custodian of Records,
And how long have you been with them now?
24 years.
And are part of your duties to be the custodian of records for the 911 calls?
Yes,
And are these calls recorded at or near the time they're made?
they are.
And are these calls maintained in the ordinary course of your business?
They are.
Do you have records of 911 calls being placed August the 11th, 2023
Yes,
regarding the Home Depot shooting?
correct.
When did those calls start coming in?
They started coming in about 1:21 p.m.
Any idea how many calls were made?
No, there were several calls. I don't remember exactly how many.
I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 1. Recognize State's 1?
Yes, I do.
And what is that?
It's a copy of 2 of the phone calls.
2 of the 911 calls?
That's correct.
And are your initials on there?
Yes,
Have you listened to it?
yes, I have.
Are these accurate copies of those 2 phone calls?
They are.
I'd like to move in State's 1.
Any objection? Okay. They'll be so admitted. Permission to publish when you'd like to, Mr. Myers.
And when were these phone calls made?
Approximately 1:21, and the other one was, I believe, about 1:22, a minute or 2 later.
Thank you. Those are my questions. Mr. Ackerman may have some for you.
Is he free to go? Would you like him to remain
He's
available?
free to go, Your Honor. So if I may publish State's 1.
You may. And if you need me to do anything here.
There's a shooting at Home Depot? Okay, what's the person look like that's been shot? He's a black male? What's he? He what color clothes?
Like he's wearing work clothes with like some type of roadside,
What color shirt?
gray, I believe.
Gray shirt? Okay, are you somewhere safe?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, where are you at?
I'm with my coworkers and I'm using the invoice signature.
Okay, what's your name for me?
Micah,
You said Micah?
Michael.
Michael? Okay. And where are you in the store right now?
I'm in the employee for Home Depot. Their training room, I think we found
You said a trailer?
a training room.
A training room?
And that was like the office sort of.
Okay, how many people did you see were hurt?
Just one, I don't understand what happened, but he just walked up and started firing for no reason.
Okay.
I only heard, one that did, all of a sudden, he pulled out a gun.
Okay. All right, we're on the way there, okay? And do you still hear any shots?
You know, ma'am, I watched him run out the door, but I don't know what had happened to make that happen.
What door did he run out of?
The entrance door,
Is there two entrances or?
there's three entrances, one in the garden, one in the front by the house or inside garden stuff. And there's one at the very end of the floor.
Which one did he leave out of, did you see?
I think I just saw a cop running the same exit he just ran out.
Okay. Okay. All right, we're getting there now, okay, so just stay where you are, okay?
Yes, ma'am, I'll watch the cop run in.
Okay. All right, just stay where you are for now, okay? All right, bye-bye. Camden County Sheriff's Office, this is Michelle, how may I help you?
What's the address? Hey, go over there, please.
Are you at Home Depot? Are you at Home Depot?
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you on Mobile or Davis? You're on Davis?
No, we don't know the other day.
Okay, what's going on there?
David Tyree.
Okay, what's going on there? Can you give me any information?
Somebody got shot.
Someone got, go ahead.
Yeah, a young female that got shot by a male.
Adult, female? Do you know these people or they just a random customer that came in?
Yeah. I know the victim.
What's the victim's name?
Brooklyn,
Brooklyn?
yes, ma'am.
There is a victim there. Brooklyn, was shot by another male, a female. Okay, do you know where she was shot at, or I don't want to put you in any.
She was shot multiple times.
Multiple shots?
Yeah.
Is the suspect
No
still
response right
there?
now. They shoot my name.
Okay. Is the other half still there?
No, he ran out the door.
Okay, is he white, black, or Hispanic?
He seemed like a
History
light,
911.
he's African,
He's a light
African American.
skinned male, black male?
Yes.
What was he
brown skin,
wearing?
African American. It seemed like he had a work uniform on, a light blue button down.
Light blue, do we know which kind of uniform?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm just getting information. She's the only victim, I'm sorry.
Yes,
That you
ma'am.
know of, okay. What is your name?
Jeremiah.
All right, I've got deputies there, Jeremiah. You just stay calm until they get there, or go
Yeah,
inside
he's right
and
there.
they'll do. Okay, you go talk to him, all right? Thank you.
State calls Samuel Shelley.
Shelley, you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
You will go ahead and have a seat for us. State your name, spell your last name for the court reporter.
I am Deputy Sam Shelley, Shelley.
Deputy, where are you employed?
Currently with the Escambia County Sheriff's Office,
How long have you been with them?
just under 19 years.
What do you do for them?
Currently in the traffic division,
And back in August of 23, what were your duties?
still working in the traffic division.
And were you working August the 11th, 2023?
Yes, sir, I was.
And did you respond to the Home Depot on Davis Highway?
I did.
What time?
About 1:20 in the afternoon.
Did you know what you were responding to?
When dispatch first put it out, I believe it came out as an active shooter. And then it got moved to a shots fired disturbance. But at that point, I was already in the parking lot.
What was the scene like when you got there?
It was pretty chaotic. People were still running out of the building. I was only about a half a block away, so people were hiding behind things, people still trying to get to their cars and get out.
Any idea how many law enforcement agencies or personnel showed up?
I believe there was probably about 30 just from my agency, but then Pensacola Police Department sent a bunch, the Florida Highway Patrol arrived. There was a bunch of us.
Did you ever enter the Home Depot?
I did.
And where'd you go?
I actually parked my vehicle and went in through the main entrance on the south side of the building. And then from there, went to talk to some folks at the door, and I ended up making my way to aisle 52.
What'd you find on aisle 52?
Aisle 52 was where a young female was found deceased. She was unresponsive when I arrived. There were several bullet casings in the aisle, and I believe one projectile was in that aisle as well.
Once you observed these items, what'd you do?
At that time, I had everybody exiting the road just to secure it so I could maintain the safety of everything.
Was the Home Depot also secured?
Yes, that was done by deputies and officers, maybe even troopers after I arrived in aisle 52, because I stayed in that aisle the whole time.
And were investigators and crime scene technicians notified?
Yes, sir.
And this Home Depot location on Davis Highway, is that in Escambia County, Florida?
Yes, sir, it is.
Thank you, sir. Those are my questions. Mr. Ackerman may have some.
You're free to go.
Thank you.
State calls Cortland Penn.
So there was 20 and now we're down to 18. Kind of very quick question. Defense not cross examined. Okay, here we go. Next.
You'll raise your right hand for me. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give us the truth, full truth, nothing but the truth? Have a seat, ma'am. If you will say your full name, if you'll spell your first and last name for our recorder.
Cortland Penn, Courtlyn, Penn, Penn.
Ms. Penn, what is your date of birth?
February 5th, 2002,
What city do you live in?
Mobile, Alabama.
Ms. Penn, I'm going to take you back to Friday, August 11th, 2023. Do you remember that day?
Yes.
Where were you working?
Home Depot, Davis Highway on aisle 52.
Who was the company that you actually worked for?
WIS International.
Okay. And what did you do for WIS International?
It was inventory where we just count everything in the store.
You mentioned that you were on Home Depot, Davis Highway, aisle 52.
Yes.
While you were on aisle 52, what was the first thing that caught your attention, or what did you see or hear?
When I seen the guy walk past me, and then that's when the shots went.
Okay, let me stop you real quick. So you said a guy walked past you. So
Yes.
where were you physically on aisle 52?
And the first bay, as soon as you turn the corner, like on the aisle.
Okay. And were you standing or were you sitting? What were you doing?
I was sitting.
Okay. And when you first see the male, where does he come from?
I couldn't really see the entrance of the store, so he just came like walking, and then he walked past, and then he came back.
Okay. And who else was on the aisle?
It was me, Brooklyn, and the rest of our car workers on the other end.
Okay. And when you first see the, well, describe the male for the jury.
He was like brown skin, kind of short, kind of like not tall, but average size.
Okay. And when you first see this male, what's he doing?
Walking.
And where was he walking toward?
I guess he was just looking for Brooklyn. He came straight in the store and walked to my aisle.
Okay. And where were you in relation to where Brooklyn was on the aisle?
I was next to her.
Where did you see the male go?
He walked right past me, so straight past me to Brooklyn.
All right. And when he got to Brooklyn, what did you see at that point?
He really tapped her on the shoulder and he was like, "You gave me something." And then that's when he pulled the firearm from his pants, like on his waistband.
Okay. You talk really fast. I know you're nervous. Just try to slow down. So you see him walk up to Brooklyn.
Yes.
And then you said he tapped her on the shoulder?
Yes.
Okay. And then what did you hear him say?
"You gave me something."
What did Brooklyn do at that point? If
He just she really gave him like a blank look. I didn't really hear her say anything.
Okay. And then what do you see next?
That's when he pulled his firearm and
Okay.
then seized the sheet.
Did you see where he pulled the firearm from?
His waistband.
Do you remember what color it was?
Black.
Do you know how many times he shot?
Well, the first 3 shots, I got up and ran. So after that, everything else just went off.
And did you, you said Brooklyn had a blank look.
Yeah.
Did you hear her say anything back?
No.
Could you see at the time of the shooting how were they positioned? Brooklyn and the male?
Face to face.
Where did you run to?
The back of the store. And then a lady pulled me in the bathroom. And then I proceed to stay in the bathroom.
Was it a lady that you knew?
No.
Did you see which direction the male went?
No. Well, he ran towards the other end of the aisle.
Do you know this defendant seated over here?
Yes.
And what's her name?
Sheila.
How do you know Sheila?
She was like a supervisor for the company I was working for.
Was she working on the day of the shooting?
Yes.
And what was her job?
I guess to just really make sure that we was just doing everything and getting all the counts in.
Was she like your supervisor?
Yes.
Now, on that day, the day of the shooting, did you see Sheila periodically through your shift?
Yes.
How was she acting?
Some like regular, and then like towards like the end of the shift, she was like acting kind of weird. Like she really didn't say anything.
Back at that time, what was your shift? In other words, what time did you start and what time did you end?
Like 5 to like maybe 2 or 3.
5 a.m. or p.m.?
a.m.
And on this particular day, were you guys toward the end of your shift?
Yes.
Ms. Penn, while you were working that day, did you interact with Brooklyn?
Yeah, we was talking as we was going like down the aisles, other aisles.
Okay. Did you see her on a pretty regular basis during the day?
Yes.
How was she acting?
Like her regular self.
Did she ever seem scared or concerned?
No.
Nervous?
No.
Those are my questions, Ms. Penn. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a few quick questions, young lady.
on the day of the shooting?
Yes.
And what was her job?
I guess to just really make sure that we was just doing everything and getting all the counts in.
Was she like your supervisor?
Yes.
Now, on that day, the day of the shooting, did you see Sheila periodically through your shift?
Yes.
How was she acting?
Just, well, some like regular, and then like towards like the end of the shift, she was like acting kind of weird. Like she really didn't say anything.
Back at that time, what was your shift? In other words, what time did you start and what time did you end?
Like 5 to like maybe 2 or 3
5 a.m. or p.m.?
a.m.
And on this particular day, were you guys toward the end of your shift?
Yes.
Ms. Penn, while you were working that day, did you interact with Brooklyn?
Yeah, we was talking as we was going like down the aisles, other aisles.
Okay. Did you see her on a pretty regular basis during the day?
Yes.
How was she acting?
Like her regular self.
Did she ever seem scared or concerned?
No.
Nervous?
No.
Those are my questions, Ms. Penn. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a few quick questions, young lady. What was your relationship with Brooklyn?
I was just a friend, coworker
At work or socially?
at work.
Didn't know her socially pretty well.
No.
And anybody else at work you were close to, or
No.
just basically work relationship?
Yeah.
And you knew Sheila from work?
Yes.
Anything social?
No.
You have any knowledge of Sheila's relationship
No.
to Brooklyn?
No.
Okay. How long you been there? How long were you there when this happened?
Sorry?
How long had you been working there when this happened?
Maybe a couple months.
Couple months. Okay. Did you know Brooklyn had a child or anything like that? You know anything about her personal life?
Not really, but I knew she had a baby.
Okay. No further questions. Thank you.
Ms. Jensen, is she free to go? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. You can step down.
State calls Tiana Thomas.
Everybody still doing okay on the jury? You do? Okay. Ms. Jensen, I think we have one juror at least that needs to use the restroom, so I think we might just take a short comfort break at this point before we hear from Ms. Thomas. So I just want to give you one quick instruction. So we're about to take our first recess. Remember that all the rules I've given you apply even when you're outside the courtroom, such as at a recess. And remember the basic rule. Do not talk to anyone, including your fellow jurors, friends, family members, or coworkers, about anything having to do with this trial, except to speak to court staff. This means no emailing, text messaging, tweeting, blogging, or any other form of communication. Again, you cannot do any research about the case or look up any information about the case. Remember to observe during our recess the other rules I gave you. If you become aware of any violation of these rules at all, notify court personnel of the violation. So again, feel free to get to know your fellow jurors, but do not talk about the case at this point. So I'm going to have you step out into the jury room. If you've been taking notes, go ahead and flip that notepad over to where it just has your name on the front, and you can set it right next to where you're seated, either on the floor or on the chair. Anything we need to address before we take a recess?
Did Your Honor, turn the microphones off?
I did.
Okay.
So let me go ahead and zoom us past here because we definitely know we got that old good old TiVo time, right? It don't sound like they're addressing nothing, or if they are addressing it, they're not letting us hear it.
Okay. Go ahead and be seated. And thank you for letting us know. We don't want anybody to be uncomfortable. And if you need a break, just alert us so you can give your full attention to the trial. I just wanted to confirm that everybody has followed the court's instructions and you've not discussed the case, correct? And so I'm going to probably ask you that every time we have a recess just to confirm it, okay? All right, everybody ready to continue? All right, Ms. Jensen?
State House Tiana Thomas.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? All right, Ms. Thomas, if you'll just have a seat, make sure you pull yourself up to the microphone, and if you would state your full name and spell your first and last name for the court reporter.
My name is Tiana Thomas, Tiyanna. Last name Thomas.
Ms. Thomas, what is your date of birth?
09/11/02.
And where do you live, city and state?
Chickasaw, Alabama.
I'm going to direct your attention to Friday, August 11th, 2023. Do you remember that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you at work on August 11th, 2023?
Yes, ma'am.
What company did you work for at that time?
WIS.
What was the name of the store that you were at on August 11th?
Home Depot,
In what city?
Pensacola, Florida.
Toward the end of your shift, which area of the store were you working?
The lighting aisle.
Were there any other of your coworkers on the lighting aisle with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember who?
Not exactly everybody, but I remember a few people.
Okay, who do you remember?
Cortland, Ashanti, me, Brooklyn.
While you were on the lighting aisle, did you see something or hear something that caught your attention?
When I looked up, I did see him standing by her. He tapped her and was talking to her. I didn't hear
Okay.
anything though.
So let's talk about him and her. So
Right.
who's he?
Keith
Okay, and what do you see Keith do?
tapped her on the shoulder.
Who's her?
Brooklyn, sorry.
That's okay. At the time you saw who you've said is Keith tap Brooklyn on the shoulder, where were you physically located?
The same aisle as her, maybe like 4 or 5 bays down.
And when he tapped her, Brooklyn, on the shoulder, did you hear him say anything?
No, ma'am.
Did you hear her say anything?
No, ma'am.
After you saw him tap her on her shoulder, what did you see or hear next?
I actually looked back down because I just thought he was a customer, so I just looked down.
Okay. And then what's the next thing you saw or heard?
Then I heard gunshots.
How many gunshots did you hear?
I'm not exactly sure how many.
When you heard the gunshots, did you look up to see where Brooklyn and Keith were?
Yes, ma'am.
And were they facing each other or were they away from each other?
At first, they were facing each other until he shot. That's when she fell to the floor.
And what did you do at that point?
Start running the opposite direction.
Were there other people in the store running?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see where Keith went after the shots?
No, ma'am. I went the opposite direction.
Ms. Thomas, do you know this defendant seated over here, Sheila Agee?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you know her?
She was a supervisor.
And was she working on the day that Brooklyn got shot?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see her periodically throughout the day? I'm not talking about Sheila.
Yes, ma'am.
How would you say she was acting?
A little strange, just a little bit.
And what do you mean by that, as opposed to how she would normally be?
Well, Sheila, she usually was kind of uppity. She would usually direct us around, tell us where to go. But that day, she really wasn't trying to.
Do you remember if you guys were almost done with your shift that day?
Yes, ma'am, we were.
If they were almost done with their shift that day?
Yes.
How often did you see Brooklyn on August 11th prior to the shooting?
A good amount of times, actually.
Okay. And how was she acting on that day?
Like Brooklyn. She was always happy, always smiling.
Did she ever seem scared to you?
No, ma'am.
Did she seem concerned?
No, ma'am.
Did she seem nervous?
No, ma'am.
Do you know what kind of car Sheila Agee drove back then?
It was a big black truck, not exactly sure of the make and model.
Okay. And do you know if Miss Agee would transport some of the employees to work?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know how many?
Her truck usually fits about 3 in the back, 2 in the middle row, and then her and another person in the front.
If you will, to the left of you, you should have a picture there. If you'll just flip it over and take a look at that, that's State's Exhibit number 47.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recognize who's in that exhibit?
Brooklyn.
Thank you, ma'am. Those are all my questions.
Good morning.
And how long had you been working with that firm?
Can you repeat yourself, please?
How long had you been working?
Maybe about 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
Like that.
You know Brooklyn
Yes, sir.
socially or just at work?
Just at work.
Okay. You know she was, had a child? She had a
Yes,
father
I
to a
did.
child?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Had you ever seen the father outside of work?
No, sir, not before that.
Ever seen him? You never saw him at work either?
No,
Okay.
sir.
And I guess you'd known Sheila for that same amount of time, 2, 3 months?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's your relationship with Sheila?
She was just my supervisor.
Okay. And do you know her relationship with Brooklyn?
Not really, no, sir.
Okay. Okay. And I think you were testifying earlier, it seemed to you, let me see if I can phrase it, that maybe Sheila was a little preoccupied. Would that be a proper word?
Yes, sir. That's kind
Okay.
of, that fits.
Okay. You ever talk to her about, why she seemed preoccupied? You have any idea?
No, sir.
Okay. All righty. Thank you, young lady.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
Is she free to go?
She is.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Thomas. You can step down.
State calls Brittany Bishop.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give us the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
If you will have a seat, Ms. Bishop. Just make sure you speak into the microphone, and if you will state your name, spell your last name for our court reporter.
Brittany Bishop, Bishop,
And Ms. Bishop, where are you employed?
Escambia County Sheriff's Office.
What do you do for them?
I am a crime scene technician,
How long have you been with the sheriff's office now?
approximately 7 years.
And can you tell the jury what a crime scene technician does?
I respond to various crime scenes where I document, process, and collect items of evidence, and then I preserve them.
And in your time at the sheriff's office, how many homicide scenes would you say you've worked?
I have been the primary crime scene technician, and I have assisted in over 25 homicide scenes.
Were you working August the 11th, 2023?
Yes,
And did you respond to the Home Depot on Davis Highway?
yes,
What time did you get there?
at approximately 1400 hours or 2 p.m.
Was Miss Sims still on the scene at that time?
Yes,
And where was she?
she was on aisle 52.
And did you go there?
I did.
And did you photograph the scene and the items you located?
Yes.
I'm going to show you states 2 through 29. Just take a minute, look through those. Your Honor, may we approach?
You may. About the case, okay? Thank you.
Another witness down. Okay, we got this good old TiVo time. Let's see how much we can get through. It's pretty early. I mean, it's pretty early where I'm at. That don't mean it's early where y'all at.
It was likely because she saw some of the crime scene photos, but we need to keep in mind that it's not appropriate for either Ms. Agee or anybody else out in the gallery to be in a situation where they cannot compose themselves in a way that it's going to affect the jury's attention away from the evidence that's being presented. So Ms. Agee, if that happens again, I need you to let your attorney know so we can take a break and have the juror step out. Do you need a few minutes, ma'am? Okay, we just want you to have a few minutes to take some deep breaths, okay? And we'll just take a couple minutes, and then if you're ready, we'll bring the jurors back in. Okay?
Thank you.
The other thing I will mention, since we're here, I've watched the juror that was referenced earlier. He's taking notes. He appears to be attentive. I think when he looks down to make his notes, it kind of has the appearance that his eyes are closed. So that may have been, what was observed earlier, but he doesn't appear to me to be of any concern. Anything from state or defense on that juror?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
One more minute, I'm going to run.
Okay. Yes, sir. that you don't believe you can control.
Thank you, Judge.
Are we ready to bring the jurors back?
I am. State.
Mr. Myers, through this witness, are you going to be publishing some
Yes,
of the
ma'am.
crime scene photos? So I'll just make this direction to anybody that's in the audience. As the state is going to be publishing some crime scene photos here, if it's something that you don't believe you can control your emotions, I'll just ask that you quietly step out. Okay, so we want to make sure the jurors' attention is solely on the evidence being presented. Okay. Deputy Williams. Take care of up at the bench, and sometimes there'll be situations where I'll need you to step back into the jury room, so you'll get your steps in today. Because I know you're down at the jury room down at the end of the hall, but appreciate your patience with that. Is everybody ready to proceed? Okay, you can continue, Mr. Myers.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Bishop, states 2 through 29, did you review those?
I did.
And what are those?
Those are pictures that I photographed of the scene and the items that I observed.
And do those photographs accurately reflect the scene as you found it and the items you discovered?
Yes.
I'd like to move in 2 through 29, please.
Any objection?
No objection.
Will be so moved.
If I may publish, Your Honor.
You may.
Ms. Bishop, you'll have a screen there in front of you. You can tell the jury what we're looking at here. This is states 2.
States 2 is the exterior of Home Depot.
And states 3.
States 3 is showing the numerics of Home Depot, which is 5309 North Davis Highway.
States 4.
States 4 is the exterior door, which is closest to the garden center.
States 5.
States 5 is as I was entering through that door.
States 6.
State 6 is as I entered through that door, showing my directionality to the aisle.
If we go continue straight, is that where the lighting section would be?
Yes.
State 7.
State 7 is showing the aisle numerics, which is aisle 52 and 53, and also showing the surveillance cameras located in the ceiling.
States 8.
States 8 is showing aisle 52.
States 9.
States 9 is as we are looking down aisle 52.
States 10.
States 10 is showing Miss Brooklyn Sims lying face down.
And is this how you would have found her?
I did.
States 11.
States 11 is a black Apple iPhone with a black butterfly case on the shelf.
And where was that in relation to Miss Sims?
It was located to the left of her, a few feet away.
States 12.
States 12 is the various items of evidence I located down the aisle, which I then documented with numbered yellow placards.
Are those referred to as photo markers?
They are.
States 13.
States 13 is photo marker number 2, which is a 9mm cartridge casing.
States 14.
States 14 is photo marker 3.
States 15.
States 15 is a close-up photograph showing that photo marker 3 was near the lighting, the solar lighting.
And what is photo marker 3?
It is a 9mm cartridge casing.
States 16.
State 16 is photo marker 5 and photo marker 6.
States 17.
States 17 is showing what photo marker 5 is, which is a 9mm cartridge casing.
States 18.
States 18 is photo marker 6, which is just documenting that it is a 9mm cartridge casing.
States 19.
States 19 is showing that it is photo marker 4.
States 20.
States 20 is documenting that it is a 9mm cartridge casing.
21.
States 21 is showing photo marker 7 and 8.
22.
States 22 is documenting that photo marker 7 is a projectile.
States 23.
States 23 is a photo marker 8, documenting that it is also a projectile.
States 24.
States 24 is showing the opposite end of that aisle, and it is showing photo marker 9.
States 25.
And States 25 is documenting that photo marker 9 is a projectile.
26.
States 26 is showing photo marker 10, and it is documenting that it is 2 9mm cartridge casings.
27.
And States 27 is a closer up photograph of those 2 9mm cartridge casings.
28.
States 28 is showing a defect to the merchandise, which is labeled as A5.
And 29.
And that States 29 is a projectile that I located inside that merchandise on the opposite side of the defect A5.
Did you collect and turn in the Apple iPhone black butterfly case?
The black Apple iPhone with the butterfly case was transferred to an investigator on scene.
How many total shell casings did you locate?
I located approximately 7 shell casings.
And did you collect those and turn them in?
I did.
So you states 30 and 31. Let's start with states 30. What is states 30?
States 30 is exhibit number, or ECSO exhibit number 35. Photo marker 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10. 6 9mm shell casings.
And is that packaging in substantially the same condition as when you turned them in?
Yes.
I'd like to move in states 30.
Would be so admitted.
And if you could look at states 31, what is that?
States exhibit 31 is ECSO exhibit number 70, which is labeled photo marker 6, 1 CCI 9mm shell casing.
And is that shell casing in substantially the same condition, or that packaging, I'm sorry?
Yes.
I'd like to move in states 31, please.
Would be so admitted.
How many projectiles did you collect?
I collected approximately 5 projectiles in 4 fragments.
And did you photograph these fragments at the lab?
I did.
I'll show you states 37 to 42. And then look at those. You recognize those?
I do.
And what are those?
These are the projectiles and fragments that I located on aisle 52.
And are these photos you took back at the lab?
Yes,
And are they accurate photos of the fragments you collected?
yes.
I'd like to move in states 37 through 42.
Will be so admitted.
And I don't know if I asked you or if I made it clear, all the shell casings you collected were all 9mm, is that right?
Yes.
If I may publish, Your Honor.
You may.
This is states 37. What are we looking at here?
States Exhibit 37 is the projectile I located near Miss Sims' hair.
States 38.
States Exhibit 38 is the opposite side of that projectile.
39.
States Exhibit 39 is the projectile I located near Miss Sims' head on the floor.
40.
States Exhibit 40 is the projectile I located on the floor near her leg.
41.
States Exhibit 41 is the projectile or fragment that I located on Miss Sims' shirt near her abdomen.
And 42.
And States Exhibit 42 is the projectile I located near Miss Sims' left shoulder on her shirt.
And did you turn these fragments in under this case number?
Yes,
Did you, let me ask you this, were you there when Miss Sims was rolled over?
yes.
What was located under her body?
It appeared to be a scanning device from Home Depot.
Did you later attend the autopsy for Miss Sims?
Yes,
When was that conducted
August the 14th
and where was it conducted?
at 5151 North 9th Avenue, which is Sacred Heart Hospital morgue.
And what physician conducted that autopsy?
It was Dr. Oleski.
Were photographs taken during the autopsy?
Yes, by forensic photographer Kelly Root.
Did you collect buccal swabs from Miss Sims?
Yes.
Can you tell the jury what those are?
A buccal swab is a swab conducted from the inner lining of the cheek.
And how do you go about collecting those?
They are they are sterile swabs taken from the inner lining of the cheek. They are then packaged into the sleeve they are taken from and then placed into a manila envelope and turned into evidence.
These kind of like long Q-tips?
Yes,
Did you also collect her fingerprints there?
I did.
Were there any projectiles located during her autopsy?
Yes,
Did you collect those and turn them in?
I did.
Can you tell us where and what item number they were assigned?
May I refer to my supplement?
Please.
ECSO Exhibit 41 were fragments from external. ECSO Exhibit 42 was a projectile from the soft tissue left chest. ECSO Exhibit 43 was a projectile from the right arm. And ECSO Exhibit 44 was a projectile from the right wrist.
And what agency Offense number were these turned in under?
ECSO 23 OFF 015040.
All right. Ms. Bishop, those are my questions. Thank you.
Is she free to go, Mr. Myers? You want her to work? Okay, you can step down.
I'm assuming that the defense is gonna be, or like, phone people in regards to the records and text messages and things like that. The data, because the fact they're not deceased, because we do know the son went into the Home Depot, aisle number 52. 7 cases were found, and a young lady was unalive. The baby mama, due to him thinking that she gave him an STD that she never. And mind you, this was the child of the mother of his child. Yeah, they moving through these witnesses pretty fast. Zach was saying that it was kind of moving fast when I asked him earlier. Yeah, because I guess the defense is not defending any of this testimony. Okay, here we go, guys.
Just follow over here for me. Rachel, do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give us the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? Yes, ma'am. You will have a seat for me, and if you will make sure you speak into the microphone, if you'll state your name and spell your last name for our court reporter.
Hannah Sturgeon, Sturgeon.
Ms. Sturgeon, where are you employed?
Pensacola Police Department,
What do you do for them?
dispatch.
How long have you been with the police department now?
About 5 years?
Were you working August the 11th, 2023?
Yes,
And did you receive a call from a guy regarding the Home Depot?
yes.
What time was that?
I have the call printout if I can refer to that.
Yes, ma'am.
Around 1:45.
And does your printout show what time you guys started receiving calls on that?
Around 1:25.
The call at 1:45, what phone number was used for that?
Area code 251-404-3421.
Thank you, Ms. Sturgeon. Those are my questions.
I have
Okay. You can step down, ma'am. Thank you.
Well, dang,
Anthony,
I'm supposed to count now.
Just if you will follow the deputy over there, sir.
Better for her testimony. You spend more time driving down.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
You will have a seat for me, officer. Make sure you speak loudly into the microphone, state your name, spell your last name for the court reporter.
Anthony Odom. Last name is Odum.
Mr. Odom, where are you employed?
Pensacola Police Department.
What do you do for them?
I'm a patrol officer.
How long have you been with them now?
Almost 5 years.
Were you working August the 11th, 2023?
Yes, sir.
And did you respond to the AMC Theater?
I did.
What was the address out there?
5149 Bayou Boulevard.
And that's like a movie theater, right?
Yes, sir.
And do you recall what you were responding to?
A 911 call in reference to the suspect from the shooting at Home Depot was wanting to turn himself in.
And what did you see when you got there?
As I pulled into the parking lot, I seen a half clothed, he was missing his shirt, male walking towards me with his hands up.
Was he by himself?
Yes, sir.
Did he have any items with him?
I believe he had some things in his hands.
What was he doing with those?
He was putting them down upon our request, laying them on the ground.
Did you have other officers responding with you as well?
Yes, sir. Other officers were coming in as I was dealing with the subject.
Any idea how many?
Well over a dozen, probably.
Did you notice anything about his pants?
Yes, sir.
What was that?
They were wet.
Were you equipped with a body camera for this encounter?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to show you states 35. Recognize states 35?
Yes, sir. That's from my body cam.
Is that a screenshot from your body cam?
Yes, sir.
Is that the individual you guys took into custody?
That is.
Is that an accurate screenshot?
Yes, sir, it is.
I'd like to move in states 35.
There's no objection. It'll be so admitted.
Those are my questions, sir. Mr. Ackerman may have some for you.
Morning.
I have no question. Thank you.
Yes.
Is he free to go, Mr. Myers?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can step down, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
And if I could just publish 35.
Another one bites the dust. I'm telling you, they could have just stipulated to this stuff. They just got these people marching in and out. I don't know. They trying to rush the trial, so the jury. Okay. What? I mean, they even putting in evidence and testifying to it. That one was recording. She just let the jury know that it's seen as a evidence, so they'll be able to speak back with them. I guess they gonna call the next witness. Okay, yeah, here he comes.
You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Sergeant Parsons, if you will just state your name, spell your last name for the record.
James Parsons, Parsons.
Where are you employed?
The Pensacola Police Department.
What do you do for the Pensacola Police Department?
I'm the supervisor of the K-9 unit.
How long have you been in, excuse me, how long have you been in law enforcement?
A little over 19 years.
Did you respond to a shooting at Home Depot on August 11th, 2023?
Yes, I did.
When you got there, just give the jurors an idea of what's going on when you get there.
The parking lot was being flooded with civilians as well as employees from the store. There were multiple law enforcement vehicles and personnel arriving and entering the store.
And did, excuse me, did a number of law enforcement agencies respond?
Yeah, I believe all of them. Yes.
All right. Was this kind of a all hands on deck type situation?
Yes, it was.
When you first got to the Home Depot, had a suspect been located?
No, ma'am.
And once you got there, what was your duty?
Once I got there, I realized there was already a team inside the building, clearing the building, as well as the sheriff's office beginning their investigations, interviewing people and witnesses. So I left that area and began to circulate for a suspect as we were starting to get information from the surveillance video as far as possible vehicles, descriptions, stuff like that. So I began to circulate the area.
While you were circulating the area, did you find a firearm?
Yes, we had received information from our dispatch that a caller had called in and said there was a gun on the side of the road of Davis Highway. So I responded to that area.
And where was that in location to the Home Depot?
Approximately half a mile north on Davis Highway.
And once you got to that particular area, did you see the firearm?
I did. There was a black handgun laying along the curb line of Davis Highway on the western side of the road.
Were there other law enforcement officers there as well?
Yes, there was.
Once you arrived at that location, where did you go from there?
About that time, they started to relay over the radio a vehicle description of the suspect that he had left in. So I began to start checking parking lots and the surrounding area for that vehicle.
Were you able to locate a vehicle that matched the description?
Yes.
Where?
On Airport Boulevard in the Select Specialty Care Medical Facility, there was a silver Nissan Sentra that matched the description.
Where was that location in respect to the Home Depot?
A little over a mile north and to the east.
Did you stay with that vehicle until someone responded to take it into custody?
Correct. I stayed until the sheriff's office arrived.
Those are my questions. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I have no questions.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're free to step down. Thank you.
Jennifer Hall.
Everybody still doing okay? Good. You can also stand and stretch if you need to. Hopefully those chairs are a little more comfortable than where you were sitting yesterday, so. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
If you will pull yourself up to the microphone, Ms. Hall, state your full name for the record, spell your last name for the court order.
Jennifer Hall, Hall.
Ms. Hall, where are you employed?
The Escambia County Sheriff's Office.
What do you do for them?
I am a crime scene technician.
How long have you been with them now?
13 years, yes.
Were you working August the 11th, 2023?
Yes,
And were you asked to retrieve a firearm on Davis Highway?
yes.
Where was that located?
It was in front of the AMCO on Davis Highway.
Is that near the Bobby Lycus?
Yes, it is.
And what did you find there on the side of the road?
I found a 9mm Glock firearm and a single round of ammunition.
What was the serial number to that 9mm?
It was BWSH 648.
And did you photograph these items?
Yes, I did.
Show you states 51 through 57.
Yes.
You recognize those?
Yes, these are the photographs of in front of Davis Highway.
And do they accurately reflect the location and the firearm found?
Yes.
I'd like to move in states 51 through 57.
It'll be so admitted.
And did you collect and turn in the firearm?
Yes.
What item number was that assigned?
Item number 1.
I'll show you states 58. You recognize states 58?
Yes, this is the firearm that I collected from Davis Highway.
And is it in substantially the same condition, I guess minus the lock on there, than as when you turned it in?
Yes.
I'd like to move in states 58.
Will be so admitted.
Judge, if I may publish.
You may.
Ms. Hall, you may have a screen in front of you. You can tell us what we're looking at here. This is states 51.
Yes, this is the mailbox in front of the business on Davis Highway.
States 52.
This is a overall of where the firearm and the single round of ammunition was located on Davis Highway.
States 53.
This is a mid-range photograph of that firearm and the single round of ammunition, which is marked by that yellow cap.
States 54.
This is a close-up photograph of that round of ammunition on Davis Highway.
And was that a 9mm round?
Yes.
States 55.
This is the 9mm Glock firearm that was located on Davis Highway.
56.
This is a photograph of me removing the magazine from that same firearm.
And 57.
And this is just attempting to photograph how the firearm it was misfed, it was jammed.
From Davis Highway there, where did you go next?
I went to the IMAX Theater on Bayou Boulevard.
And what was the address there?
The address is 5149 Bayou Boulevard.
And what did you find when you were there?
A gray t-shirt and a cell phone.
Did you photograph those items?
Yes.
I'm going to show you states 59 through 63.
Okay.
You recognize those?
Yes, these are the photographs that I took of the shirt and cell phone at the IMAX Theater.
And do they accurately reflect those items and the location found?
Yes, they do.
I'd like to move in 59 through 63.
Will be so admitted.
If I may publish.
You may.
States 59.
This is an overall photograph of the gray t-shirt and the cell phone in the parking lot of the IMAX Theater.
60.
This is another overall photograph from a different point of view of that same t-shirt and cell phone.
61.
This is a closer photograph of those two items in the parking lot of the theater.
62.
This is the front side of the cell phone in the parking lot of that theater.
63.
This is a photograph of the gray t-shirt in the parking lot.
The cell phone, did you collect that and turn that in?
Yes.
What item number was it assigned?
67.
From this location, where do you go?
I went to the Select Specialties Hospital at 7000 Cobble Creek Road.
What would you observe there?
There was a silver Nissan that was recovered there.
And did you photograph it?
Yes.
Show you states 64 through 67. You recognize those?
Yes, these are the photographs of the silver Nissan.
Do they accurately reflect that Nissan and the location found?
Yes.
I'd like to move in 64 through 66.
No objection, they'll be so admitted.
State 64.
This is an overall photograph of the front of that Nissan.
65.
This is a photograph of the back of the Nissan.
And 66.
This is a photograph of a blue shirt that was photographed through the front passenger side window on the front seat.
67.
This is a photograph through the front driver's window showing that same blue shirt and an ID badge on the front seat.
What'd you guys do with the car from that location?
It was towed back to the Escambia County Sheriff's Office impound lot.
And did you later perform a search of the vehicle?
Yes.
And did you photograph that search?
Yes.
I'm going to show you states 68 through 75. You recognize those?
Yes, these are the photographs I took at the impound lot of the Nissan during the search warrant.
And do those photographs accurately reflect the search you did on that Nissan?
Yes.
I'd like to move in 68 through 75.
No objection, will be so admitted.
State 68, Ms. Hall, what are we looking at here?
This is the front photograph of the vehicle in our impound lot. This is a photograph of the back of the vehicle and the tag in the impound lot.
70.
This is a photograph from the front driver's side of the blue shirt and badge.
71.
This is the badge with the name Keith Agee.
72.
This is on the back driver's side seat. It's a yellow hard hat and a yellow safety vest.
73.
This is a photograph of the blue shirt from the front seat after it was laid out.
And what does the name badge say?
Keith,
And the company badge?
AMNS Calvert.
State 74.
This is the backside of that same shirt.
75.
This is the safety vest after it was laid out.
Did you later swab the pistol that was turned in for potential DNA?
Yes, I did.
How is that done?
That is done by taking a set of sterile swabs, which are like large Q-tips, applying a couple of drops of sterile water to those swabs, and then swabbing the trigger, the grip, the slide of the firearm.
And did you do that in this case?
Yes, I did.
Did you turn those in?
Yes.
What item number were they assigned?
Number 5.
Did you also swab that cell phone you collected and turned in?
Yes.
What item number was that swab given?
Number 8.
Did you also photograph some of the items you collected back at the lab?
Yes.
I'm going to show you states 76 through 85. Recognize those?
Yes, these are the photos I took of the items collected in our crime lab.
And are those photographs accurately portray those items as you photographed them?
Yes, they do.
I'd like to move in 76 through 85.
There's no objection, they'll be so admitted.
76, what are we looking at here?
This is the cell phone, the front side of the cell phone.
77,
This is a photograph of the back of that cell phone.
78,
This is the firearm and magazine and the one round of the firearm found on Davis Highway.
79,
This is a photograph of the serial number on that same firearm.
80,
This is the opposite side of the firearm.
81,
This is the model of the firearm.
82,
This is the photograph of the ammo that was jammed in the magazine.
83,
This is a photograph of those rounds of ammo after that was removed from the magazine.
84,
This is a photograph of the head stamp on those rounds of ammunition from the magazine.
and 85.
This is a photograph of the gray t-shirt that was recovered from the IMAX theater.
What agency number did you, agency number did you turn these items in under?
The case number was 23-015040.
Were you later asked to collect a buccal swab in this case?
Yes, I was.
Who did you collect that from?
Keith Agee.
And did you turn that buccal swab in as evidence?
Yes, I did.
What agency exhibit number was it given?
Number 79.
Same case number?
Yes.
I'll show you states 45. Recognize states 45.
Yes, this is Mr. Agee on the day that I took his buccal swab.
Is that an accurate photograph of him that day?
Yes, it is.
I'd like to move in states 45.
They'll be so admitted.
published in 45. Thank you, Ms. Hall. Those are my questions. Mr. Ackerman may have some.
Okay. She free to go?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can step down, ma'am. Thank you. Can I see counsel at the bench briefly?
Yeah, so Lynn, he came to find out that, after this all happened, that the young lady, she didn't even have an STD. I don't know. It seemed like he's one of those guys that,
You swear from the testimony you're about to give is the truth, full truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
You'll go ahead and have a seat for us. State your first and last name and spell your last name for the court reporter.
Eric Haynes, Haines.
Mr. Haynes, where are you employed?
The Escambia County Sheriff's Office.
What do you do for them?
I am the officer in charge of the computer crimes unit.
How long have you been with the sheriff's office now?
26 years.
Can you give us just kind of a general background on your training and your education to do this type of work?
Sure. I've got a bachelor's in criminal justice, a master's in public administration, specialized in criminology. Went to the basic recruit school, many management classes, and in the past 5 years, I've gotten major certifications in digital forensics to perform the job that I do.
As part of your duties, do you extract cell phone data?
I do.
How do you go about that?
We have different forensic tools and software that will defeat encryption and passwords and then download the data out of the devices.
What programs do you use?
Several, and relevant to this case, we use Celebrate, a suite of services from them, and then Magnet. We use some of theirs as well. And then Gray Key is a forensic tool to get into iPhones primarily with some Androids.
How do you use these programs to extract the actual cell data?
It can get pretty complex, but in layman's terms, we connect the phone. It tries to make the connection, again, find the password if it can, defeat the encryption, and then pull out the relevant data.
Do these programs also produce a preliminary device report?
They do.
What's contained on those?
The preliminary device report is just like the generic information about the phone, the make, the model, the phone number, its MAC addresses, which is like its specific ID for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, things like that. Just identifying information, accounts associated with the phone, things like that.
And aside from a preliminary device report, does it also produce or can you also produce an extraction report?
Yes, an extraction report takes everything that we pull out of the phone and then puts it into like a readable format, categorizes it into text, pictures, accounts, notes, things like that.
And I guess in my general understanding, these phones are so large these days, these extractions can be enormous.
That is correct.
How do you put it down, or how does Cellbrite help you get it into a format that is usable for everyone else?
Well, I mean, pretty much a phone and any computer is zeros and ones. We need assistance to find out what that is. It would literally take a lifetime to go through some of these phones. We had one recently with 6 or 7 million artifacts, and that's still not everything in the phone. That's just what Celebrite deems kind of relevant to the case. So what it does is it's called parsing, where it goes through and it knows in the phone, like this is where an iPhone will keep its texts. This is where an iPhone will keep its pictures. This is where Facebook should be, and this is where all the messages are. So it reads all that for us. So again, it would be physically impossible. It would take a whole career to go through a phone if you were to read it.
In this particular case, did you receive a cell phone which was ECSO exhibit number 67?
I did.
And did you perform a download of this cell phone?
I did.
Did Cellbrite produce a preliminary device report for ECSO exhibit 67?
Yes, I used Cellbrite to create that, yes.
I'm going to show you states 33. tell us what states 33 is?
This is the preliminary device report for item 67.
And is that an accurate copy of that preliminary device report?
It is.
I'd like to move in 33, please.
It'll be so admitted.
Can you tell us what the phone number for ECSO Exhibit 67 was?
The phone number was area code 251-404-3421.
What was the device's name?
The device's name for this was Keith's iPhone.
From your extraction of this cell phone, did you compile a report of text messages to and from that cell phone August the 11th, 2023?
Yes.
I'm going to show you states 34. You recognize states 34.
I do.
What is states 34?
These are, this is a subset report of the text from the extraction report that we were just speaking to.
And what phone numbers are communicating here?
The local user, which would be that phone number, is not specifically listed on this, but it would be the one that I just said, the 251 area code. And it is to, you want me to read the phone number?
Yes, sir.
251-225-0872.
And is states 34 an accurate copy of the report of the text messages between those two phone numbers for August the 11th, 2023?
That is correct.
I'd like to move in states 34.
It'll be so admitted.
When you asked the program to do this download, are you manipulating any of the evidence or any of the report?
No, it doesn't change the evidence. We just set the parameters. So like I needed the text for 811. So we just set the parameters and it gives us that data.
Did you also receive ECSO Exhibit 65?
I did.
And did you perform a preliminary device report for it?
I did.
So you say 46. Do you recognize states 46?
I do.
What is that?
This is the preliminary device report.
And is that an accurate copy of that report?
It is.
I'd like to move in states 46.
Okay, there's no objection. It'll be so admitted.
What phone number was associated with this phone?
The area code 251-225-0872.
And this is the same number you just read back as being in the conversation in those texts?
Correct.
Did you look for that? Was that phone downloaded and extracted?
Yes, sir.
Did you look for that conversation from states 34 in that phone?
I did.
And did you locate it?
I did.
Where was it?
Where was it in there? It was in the text of the device.
Had it been deleted?
It had.
When?
I don't have the report in front of me with that exact time, but it was the afternoon of the event, I believe.
Did you also locate some text messages between Brooklyn and that phone?
I did.
I'll show you states 43A through 43B. Recognize those, sir?
I do.
What are those?
These are selected text from a report that I created of the text between the two.
And does that report accurately reflect the conversation between the two?
The portions, yes.
Yes. Judge, at this time, I'd like to move in 43A through 43D.
Will be so admitted.
Mr. Haynes, those are my questions at this point. Mr. Ackerman may have some for you.
Good morning.
I am very unversed in computers and this kind of talk, so if I speak, please try to understand what I'm saying.
Of course.
Okay. My understanding is you've Exhibit 34, these were texts that you downloaded between Keith and the number that was 251-225-0872.
Correct.
That would be Sheila. I don't know if we've gone, okay.
I believe so,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Now, I'm going to be interested later on in text that were between Keith and Sheila from, most importantly, August 3rd to August 11th. Okay. Did you have occasion to download those two?
Yes, they were all downloaded together.
Okay. So what do you do with those texts once you've downloaded them in relation to your relationship to the state? Do you send them to the state?
Yes, the state
Okay.
has the,
Okay. So the state has 811, and they also have 83 to 811.
they should have the whole report with everything that I got out of the phone.
Okay.
Yes,
But you did download that. It is available. It's been done.
correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Again, I don't want to use terms. So I think for now, I'm satisfied that the state was furnished by you as part of your investigation and your role in all this. Basically, the totality, well, you answer this. How much, from when to when, if you recall, did you download?
The entirety of the phones, sir.
Okay, and do you have dates, times as when that would be? I mean, is it from day one of the phone?
From, yeah, whatever the, not necessarily, and it's semantics, so forgive my forensic speak, but anything that was in the phone, stored in the phone, would have been in that report that Cellbrite pulled out of it. So as far back as the conversation was recorded on the two phones, that's what would have been on the full extraction report.
Boy, I don't know that I understood that.
Okay.
As far back as the conversations between those two people?
Between the
Those
two phones and then what was recorded. So if I could give you an example,
Please.
maybe help you. So me and my mother could have been chatting for the past 15 years. Our current phones might not have all 15 years of that on there, but it could go back one or two phones or even further, depending how they were transferred to my current phone, if it was the same make and model, things like that. So whatever was on the phone between the two of them would have been in the Cellbrite reports that were provided.
And I'm trying to imagine, let's say either one of their phones was older than the other, went back further, and there were many other conversations. Does this program just pick out the conversations between those two numbers? Can you do that? Program it to do that? Is that?
I couldn't program it to do that, but that's what would be provided. Only what's saved on the phone is what I can pull out of the phone.
Okay. Again, I'm not sure I understand, but the bottom line is you did pull out the conversations between Keith and Sheila going back at least from August 11th to the beginning of their conversations.
Correct. That was in the full Cellbrite report, yes.
Okay. Just in case I might need you later, can you give me a number I can get you at if I need you back?
Of course.
We're not going to put that on the record, Mr.
Oh,
Ackley.
okay.
We can get that at another time if you.
What I just called the sheriff's department.
I'm sure the state attorney could get a hold of me. I'll stay dressed all day.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, any redirect?
Briefly, Judge. You indicated just a second ago, Mr. Ackerman, that only saved text messages would be recovered, but you indicated you recovered the deleted text messages off of Ms. Agee's phone. How do you get deleted text messages?
Well, saved, deleted are all normally looked at as user terms, like they deleted it or they saved it. I was speaking as what the phone's operating system decided to do as far as saving it somewhere in the memory, not actually a user doing that.
So if I delete a text on my phone, there's a possibility you could still recover it.
Absolutely.
And that's what happened in this case.
Yes.
Now, you indicated that you couldn't recall the time that it was deleted. If I showed you previous testimony, would that refresh your memory?
Yes. Yes.
You may.
Just read it to yourself. See if that answers it.
Yes. In previous testimony, I was reading it off of the report. Do you want the date and time?
Yes, sir.
It was the afternoon of the event at 1:59 p.m.
Those are my questions, Your Honor, but you remain good.
Okay. Lieutenant, I'll ask that you remain available and again, do not discuss your testimony with anybody.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're free to step down. Yeah. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a good time to take our lunch break, so this will be a longer break. I estimated to have lunches here closer to noon, so it may just be a little bit before your lunches arrive.
And we will publish after that the Home Depot surveillance, which is a little over 18 minutes.
Okay.
So I'd like to get through those if we can, and then take a break, because Lionel Martinez's testimony will be a little lengthy. And then we'll close with Dr. Leslie.
Okay. And as far as Carl Jordan's, are you just going to play that on the screen through the video? Okay. All right, that sounds good. Okay, Deputy Williams, we can bring in the jurors. whatever during lunch and you feel like you need to use the restroom before we take the break when we've kind of planned to, again, let us know. We don't want you to be waiting, thinking the break's coming in 5 or 10 minutes and you're uncomfortable. Okay, so just let myself or get Deputy Bear's attention and we'll take a break. All right, everybody's ready to proceed? Okay, Mr. Myers, you want to call your next witness?
Chris Kirkland.
You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? Yes, it is. Thank you. We'll just have a seat. If you would state your first and last name and spell your last name for the court reporter.
Okay, Christine Kirkland, Kirklin.
And where are you employed, Ms. Kirkland?
With Florida Department of Law Enforcement here in Pensacola.
What do you do for them?
I'm a senior crime intelligence analyst.
And what does that entail?
We assist our FDLE special agents along with our local, state, and federal law enforcement partners with analytical requests that aid in building their case file for an investigation. We attend on-scene search warrants. We conduct employment backgrounds, and we do financial analysis as well as historical call analysis.
How long have you been with FDLE?
I've been with FDLE for 10 years.
Now, you're here on the state of Florida versus Sheila Agee. What were you asked to do in this case?
I was asked to analyze some phone records for, I believe, the phone number of the defendant. I'm drawing a blank on his name.
You're talking about Keith Agee.
Keith Agee, yeah.
What did you examine in putting together a presentation?
His historical phone records from the phone company. They are received under court order, and we get all of the phone records, and we go through those, analyze them.
And what do call detail records consist of?
Well, they have the call time and the duration, whether it's an incoming call or outgoing call, the dialed number or the calling number, the cell sites that are accessed, as well as any cell site sector. You can get text data, internet data, and they also include key records to help assist reading those documents.
And what kind of training have you had specific to cell detail records?
Well, I have over about 500 hours of training on cell phone analysis.
How many times have you analyzed cell phone records?
Probably 600 separate phones.
Can you describe for the jury the basic process of what happens when a phone call is made with a cell phone?
Your cell phone is always aware of the nearest tower. You see it in the form of signal strength. Those little bars on your phone represent the connectivity between your phone and the tower. So when you want to make a phone call, basically a radio wave is transmitted through the phone at the speed of light until it reaches the nearest tower and tells it that it wants to do something.
Will it always connect to the tower that gives the best signal?
Yes.
Is that necessarily the closest tower?
No, not necessarily.
What types of factors come into play with that?
Weather's a factor. Rural areas, tall buildings and trees, tower overload due to a high traffic area, any of those factors can affect it reaching the nearest tower.
For this case, did AT&T provide you with the records needed to plot this data?
Yes.
And prior to today, have you reviewed that data?
Yes.
I'm going to show you states 86A through 86F. You recognize that?
Yes, I do.
What is that?
This is a demonstrative aid that I created for the trial.
And is that an accurate copy of the demonstrative aid you created?
It is.
I'd like to move in states 86A through 86F.
No objection will be so admitted.
For these records, what time frame did you concentrate on?
I believe it was from 8 a.m. till about 3 o'clock in the afternoon,
What date?
August 11th of 2023.
And what was the phone number of the records you examined?
251-404-3421.
Did you plot the locations provided in those cell records?
Yes, I did.
Did you know the location of the homicide ahead of time?
Yes, I did.
Now, are these points on your maps, are these like pinpoint locations like GPS?
No, this is cell tower information that is included in the records, in the AT&T records. They provide their cell sites, and then we're able to go into a system where they're all collected as per every phone company is collectively supposed to do, and to get any of those addresses, which I always, look at on a map just to make sure they're all cell towers there.
You should have a screen in front of you.
Okay.
86A, is this just your title page?
Yep.
86B, what are we?
We're just looking at that is AT&T call and text detail records for that date and that phone number.
86C.
Okay, so this is the calls that I mapped. There's a series of outgoing and incoming calls that connected to this cell site at 1370 Railroad Street in Calvert, Alabama. I was asked to map the address there at Fairford Road in Calvert. And these are several outgoing and incoming calls, with one that I see noted that went to voicemail at 9:57 a.m.
And so these 5 calls all hit off the same cell tower?
Yes.
86D, what are we looking at here?
This is a series of incoming and outgoing text that connected to this AT&T cell site on Railroad Street in Calvert, Alabama.
And that's the same site?
That's the same cell site.
86E.
Okay, so again, the Fairford Road address is mapped, and the Home Depot in Pensacola, Florida. And then an incoming call that connected to the cell site in Spanish Fort at 12:43 p.m.
86F.
These are a series of 2 outgoing calls connecting to AT&T cell location on East Royce Street. Again, the Home Depot is mapped, and I mapped the AMC Theater address of the arrest location with 2 outgoing calls, one at 1:44 and then an outgoing call to 911, also at 1:44 p.m.
Thank you, Ms. Kirkland. Those are my questions.
Okay.
Mr. Ackerman may have some.
Okay.
Okay, is she free to go?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can step in. Thank you. You can leave that right
Okay.
there.
State calls Dana Beth Ritchie.
You can just come right up here, Ms. Ritchie. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give us the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Go ahead and have a seat for us. If you'll just say your full name, and if you will spell your first and last name for our full recording.
My name is Elizabeth Ritchie, Elizabeth. Richey.
Ms. Ritchie, where are you employed?
I work for the Florida Department of Law Enforcement out of the Tallahassee region, and I'm a senior crime laboratory analyst in the firearms section.
How long have you been with them?
I've been with FDLE since 2007.
What does a senior crime laboratory analyst in the firearms section do?
My primary responsibilities as an analyst is to function test firearms, make sure they're functioning properly, and if they aren't, try to figure out why not. And then I'm asked to compare fired components, so things like cartridge cases, bullets, and shot shells, to suspect firearms to try to answer the question of, did these items come from this particular gun? If no gun is available, then I'm asked to try to determine how many guns may have been used in that particular situation, and if possible, give investigators a list of guns to look for.
Your lab, you indicated, is in Tallahassee?
Yes.
Is that lab accredited?
Yes, it is.
What kind of education, training, or experience do you have to do this type of work?
Well, first, I have a Bachelor's of Science in Marine Science from Jacksonville University. That's what allowed me to get my job. And then when I promoted to the analyst position, I went through FDLE's 18-month analyst training program. The first year of my training is spent basically in bookwork and practical exercises. It covers the history and development of firearms, firearms identification, ammunition. It included tours of firearms manufacturing plants, as well as a couple courses outside of FDLE at that time. Once the first year was completed, I spent the next 6 months working supervised casework. And that's where I worked actual cases under the direct supervision of a qualified analyst. Once all of that was completed, I was free to begin working my own cases as a qualified analyst.
Can you explain to the jury the different components of a cartridge or a round of ammunition?
So an unfired round of ammunition is a cartridge, which many people often refer to as a bullet. But it's a cartridge is made up of 4 components. You have the cartridge case, which holds the whole unit of ammunition together. You have the primer, which provides the spark. You have the gunpowder inside the cartridge case, and then you have the bullet or the projectile that's designed to hit a target. So if I'm speaking of bullets, I'm actually speaking of the item that's designed to hit a target.
How do you go about comparing one cartridge case to another?
If I receive just 2 cartridge cases, then I will start with an inventory of those cartridge cases. I will start by taking a look at their class characteristics. Class characteristics are characteristics that are predetermined by the manufacturer. So for cartridge cases, that could be something like the shape of the firing pin. There's multiple shaped firing pins out there. And then it might also include the shape of the firing pin aperture or the hole that the firing pin comes out of in that gun. These are characteristics that can show up during the firing process on that cartridge case. So if I'm looking at these 2 cartridge cases and taking a look at the class characteristics, and the class characteristics don't agree with each other, then that's an automatic exclusion and I can eliminate them and I don't go any further. But if the cartridge cases agree with each other, then I will then move on to looking at their individual characteristics. Now, the individual characteristics comes from the cartridge cases or the bullets interacting with the interior surfaces of the firearm. There are random imperfections on the interior surfaces of the firearm that can transfer over to the cartridge case during the firing process. So when that firing pin strikes the primer, it leaves an impression in the primer. Any defects that may be on that firing pin can transfer over to the primer and leave marks. Similar as if you take a ball of Play-Doh and stab your finger, you can potentially see your fingerprints or any scars you may have on your fingers. What's also happening as that bullet is pushing down the barrel, the cartridge case is also slamming backwards against the breech face of that firearm or the part of the firearm that supports that cartridge case. So again, any defects that are on that cartridge case can transfer, or on that breech face can transfer to the cartridge case. Now, these random imperfections are unique to the gun. So if I have 2 cartridge cases, I will put them on my comparison microscope. A comparison microscope is a set of compound microscopes. They're side by side. They're linked by an optical bridge with one set of eyepieces. And that allows me to look at these two items side by side under the same magnification. So what I'm looking for is the set of repeating defects that may be showing up on these cartridge cases from the firing process. Depending on the amount of information that may be on those cartridge cases will determine what kind of conclusion I may come to during my examination.
Now, is this a similar process for fired bullets or
Ye-
projectiles?
Yes.
Now, if you have the firearm in question, how do you go about that analysis?
I will start with a visual and a mechanical inspection of the firearm. I want to make sure that it is safe to fire and that it should be functioning properly. So I'm taking a look at all the safeties, seeing if there's any potential dangers that may potentially cause me a hazard to fire. If the gun appears to be functioning properly and should be safe to fire, then I will test fire it in our laboratory range. I test fire into a water tank. That allows me to collect as pristine an example of test fired bullets from that firearm as possible. And then I also collect the test fired cartridge cases. So I will start with that. I will collect the cartridge cases and then I will examine my test fires to one another. I know that they were fired from the same firearm because I just fired them, but I want to make sure that the cartridge cases actually have enough information to support that they were fired from the same firearm. So I will examine my test fires first, and then I will conduct the examination of the knowns to the unknowns and come to a conclusion based on what level of agreement I may see in the information on the unknown to the knowns.
How many firearms would you say you've examined?
Thousands.
How many cartridge casings?
Thousands.
Same with the projectiles.
Yes.
Have you testified to your findings before?
Yes.
Approximately how many times?
Approximately 135.
And does that include Escambia County, Florida?
Yes.
We're here on the state of Florida versus Sheila Agee. I want to start agency number ECSO 230FF015040. Did you receive agency exhibit number 1?
Yes.
What was that?
That was a 9mm Luger Glock Model 19 Generation 5. It's a semi-automatic pistol.
What was the serial number on that?
The serial number is BWSH648.
I'm going to show you states 58. I want to verify that's the firearm you examined.
Yes, it is.
And what round magazine did that firearm have?
This magazine had a capacity of 15 cartridges.
Did you test fire that weapon?
Yes, I did.
Did it function properly?
Yes, it did.
Did you also receive agency exhibit numbers 35 and 70?
Yes, I did.
Take a look at those for me. Are those the casings you examined?
Yes.
Did you compare your test fires to those exhibits, agency 35 and 70?
Yes, I did.
And what were your results there?
That it was my opinion they were identified to the pistol.
Did you also receive agency exhibit numbers 41, 43, and 44?
Yes.
What were they?
41 was a fired bullet jacket fragment and an apparent lead fragment. 43 and 44 were both fired bullets.
Were you able to determine if they were fired in that same Glock 19?
Yes.
What was your opinion there?
The bullet jacket and the 2 bullets were fired from that particular firearm.
Did you also receive agency exhibit 42?
Yes.
What was that?
Those were 2 apparent lead fragments.
And were you able to determine if they were fired in that same weapon?
No.
Why not?
They are of no value for microscopic comparison. They're just lead fragments. Most bullets are made of a lead core and then an outside with a jacket of some kind. So the actual core never comes in contact with the surface of the barrel on the inside of the firearm.
Did you make a report of your findings?
Yes.
I'm gonna show you states 91. Do you recognize states 91?
Yes.
What is that?
It's a copy of my report that I authored.
And is that an accurate copy of the report you authored?
Yes.
I'd like to move in states 91.
It'll be so admitted.
Thank you, Ms. Ritchie. Those are my questions. Mr. Ackerman may have some.
Okay. You can sit down. I believe you're free to go. Okay, thank you.
Well, that one was right on time. It was like, she texted me like, Mom, start driving. And I said, well, wait, let me wait till this testimony is done so I can know exactly where we're stopping at, right? They ain't asking no questions to nobody. That's what I'm saying. Like, this should have just been, they should have just let these people stampede up here. So it looks like we have, oh, they got some more video. I don't know what it's going to be about. But I guess we'll find out, right? We shall find out. I put the notification out there for it's gonna be 5 Mountain Standard Time. So I believe film that's about 8 your time. I think. We 3 hours apart. Yeah, that should be 8 your time. And then it'll be 9. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Just hit your alert button. And we'll go finish the rest of this. Yeah, we'll finish the rest of this in the morning, and then we'll hop into our dismemberment trial, and we'll do a little musical chairs with the rooms, but we'll be good. This way, this trial don't look like it's gonna last that long. We'll probably be done with this within the day or so. I think both of them quiet as kept. But awesome. Thank you guys for hanging out. It's actually a pretty early day for us if quiet as kept, because we usually don't get out of here till about 6. But hey, either way, we'll take it. Yes, everyone have a great night, and definitely remember that you were in the right place, right? Where there's no filters. Oh, film. That's the shirt we gonna get. That's the first shirt I'm gonna make. The no filters, no fluff, just facts. So you could be the judge. I was looking into that last night. I said, oh, that'll be perfect. We can do that shirt. I thought that'd be a nice little one. Yeah, I got to figure it all out. I'm doing one thing at a time. I'm still trying to get a chat bot to work. I'm going to work with therapists on it. But all right, guys, good night. Everybody be safe. Have a lovely, lovely evening. I'll see you at the top in the morning. Peace.